with my friends.
And we're back, beautiful people. And with us today is, of course, the ever and lovely, ever elegant Keem.
Hey.
And of course, your host this week, Ant Gold. And I wrote my notes in the back of some kind of box or something, but I lost it among my other boxes. So we're gonna like.
I got you.
I got it. I got it. Look, I got bullet points from the first thing, so I'm sure nothing's changed. Um,
I'm so proud.
Thank you. See, I can be taught. All right, so we are on episode 5. It's 5.
Episode 5. Yep.
Yeah, episode. See, I'm a great host, people. We are episode 5 of season 1 of Willow. This has been a rough journey, people. It's been a rough journey. not for the characters, for us.
Yes. We've been on our own quest.
Right. But let's get into. Oh, okay. Anything about the season so far before we start on this next episode? What's your general feeling of where we are in this season?
I'm tired, Aunt. It's been 87 years.
I feel like this is a longer journey than a Lord of the Rings journey already, and that was 3 movies over like 3 years.
This is longer than either of the avatars, but
oh yeah. All right, well, in this one we start off with like my favorite character of the series, Borman. My favorite character, and his face. As he's running, and we start with another terrible music choice for this season. I don't know what people were. You're trying to save money on a composer. I don't understand. You could have reused the soundtrack from the original, maybe.
It's weird that they are trying to I see what they're trying to do, but it's just really weird that they're trying to like mesh this modern day music into something that's supposed to take place in a land in a time where they don't have electricity.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think of is because later on we have a party scene. I made me think of A Knight's Tale, where they kind of infuse that modern music into that medieval setting.
Mm-hmm.
Except people say, "Oh, but they did it here." Yeah, they might have did it there, but the execution was better. like the execution was better. Because I was thinking, even some of the designs for the costumes are a little bit more modern in that movie, but the execution was better. This is just jarring. It just takes you out. It doesn't. That scene of them being chased by the Hellraiser monsters was supposed to get you. Huh?
You said Hellraiser monster. I said the jackal from 13 Ghosts.
Oh, that's a good reference. This is why they pay you the big bucks on this check.
You get paid? Wait.
Review over. But it just jarringly takes you out. Every time they try to add this modern music into it, and this is usually at the ending, but they put it at the beginning, and it's a poor choice. Who watched this? What quality control watched this and thought this was a good choice?
Nobody.
And it's gonna age poorly. It's gonna age. I know it's hard to say, like you can't spoil milk more, but I guess you can. Maybe it's still undrinkable, but it's gonna spoil more. But they're running, and they're apparently being chased by these monsters that we've seen before, the cage guy and the one that could turn into the vulture. Um, uh, and they're flipping and dodging and shooting arrows, and Willow brings out a flamethrower for some reason.
Willow buy a Prius? Because like I feel like he really was like, ooh, Elon is selling flamethrowers. Let me get up on this.
Yeah, and I did like the line where Borman is like, what is that? And he's like, don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about
Don't worry about
it.
it. And it walks out. I did find that line cute, but now I kind of wished they kept the cart and he just pulling the stuff out of the cart would have been cool. Like maybe Willow became an inventor for some reason at this point in time. But
Well, I mean, it makes sense. He kind of has to become like an inventor because he can't use his wizardry because he's saving it for you know the big happening.
yeah,
So
the
in
big
order to
event.
still look like I got magic, I can do magic stuff. He's got to like improvise.
Sometimes you gotta save your energy for the big party. Like that's how it is. So so then they decide to run into the mystic woods,
The wild woods.
the wild woods. What madness drove them into there? Again, a Lord of Rings, a Lord of Rings reference. So they run in and you see some like I don't know fireflies or something during the day, and uh, they're talking about the woods. You love it so much that you never want to leave. And the
You lose
two
yourself.
you lose yourself. Two monsters are also afraid to cross into these woods. I thought that was interesting too, but especially what we learn later. And they're walking around, and I like this again. Uh, Borman is they're talking, and he noticed something on the ground, and he kind of like sits down and is like, "Hey guys, just so you know, no matter what happens, it's gonna be okay. I got a plan." And I was like, "All right, that was a solid." I don't know whether it was just that he sold that, like he sold that for me, or the situation, but I don't know. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that little game.
like trust me, it's gonna get crazy from here. I got
I
a
have
plan.
often said that. So it's gonna get crazy, but it's gonna be all right. I just need you to sign here, here, and here.
I'm also a notary, so I'll take care of this for you. All right.
Right. No, no, no. Leave your phone in the car. um, so they get captured by the Bone Reapers, and they're wearing the skulls, kind of like General Cal back in the original one. And these are the same group that attacked them at the beginning of their journey and killed one of their companions, which since we didn't spend much time with them, I don't think they seem to really care about. So
You know what else happened that I didn't notice until the recap of this episode? Um, One of those head guys was like, "Borman, you're supposed to be dead," and
yeah,
Borman was
and
like, "Well, I'm not." Yeah,
and like knocked him with the flat of his
yeah.
sword.
I think
Yeah,
it happened so quickly. It didn't, you know, because they were specific to point that out in the recap for this episode. I was like, oh, I guess that actually meant something.
yeah. So and again, Borman's like notices the signs or whatever before the ambush. So I guess we assume that he's done ambushes with this group before, and so he knows how they work. And they get caught, and Jade has a personal grudge because she's always been told that the flesh reavers, skull
Bone reavers.
reavers, um, killed her family, and she was rescued by them and everything like that,
Yeah.
right? And and then we see their leader, which is ethnically diverse redhead. I'm like, oh, her mama.
Like,
Like that was my
look
first
at this
assessment. Like,
racially ambiguous woman that oddly looks specifically weirdly close to Jade. Hmm.
right.
And I'll tell you, when I saw that, I was like, if that's her mama, I'm gonna be so mad. I don't know why this feels like word, like the only two light skinned gingers within all of within all of the really.
Well, I'll tell you, like every once in a while in West Philly, I look at another person, and be like, oh man, you're one of my uncles, aren't you? We've never met. It never would be. I was like, look at you, light skinned bastard, you light skinned bastard. um, so at this point, oh, we also get introduced to Lori, one of the Bone Reavers that we saw earlier. That was like, hey, you're supposed to be dead, Norman.
Yes.
And
But he
he says,
doesn't like when you call him that.
no. And Borman makes a joke about his name and everything. It's a perfectly fine name. He has some good one-liners, like what we call people who have make empty threats a nice hat, and they get captured. Borman gets taken to the leader's uh, tent. She likes taking people to her tent, so um, you find out that they have a romantic history. And Borman, again, most interesting person in the series, recounts his daring escape from whatever mission that he was on, hiding in I'm
Hilarious.
yeah, and we also get his shower scene with the majestic beard and hair flying and the thing.
Like
Uh,
the way he hyped it up of I had to fight my way out, when in actuality he's really just like pulling a Shawshank and climbing his way probably through miles of poop to come out and be
right.
like, oh God.
And he's drinking at a bar, at a tavern, on the flat. I was like, I've also been here. What did you do last night? I don't know. I stayed home. Really, I'm lying on a bar floor laughing with people. What? Yeah, it happens. Um, and so that was a very entertaining thing. And she bought it. She bought it, which again, the rogue element, ladies. Disney is trying to tell y'all something. Don't run off with these rogues. Because you want to believe everything they say, and they're not gonna stick around.
They're not. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna go out for milk and
Nope.
cigarette.
Cigarettes be right. But, oh, you
I'll
know
be
what
back.
happens? Oh, this is like Blues Brothers. Like, baby, I went out for cigarettes. My car broke down. I gotta please, please.
But also,
Um,
she's asking him like, what happened to the rest of the crew? Like, yeah, none of them made it. But because of the way he hyped up his escape and his fight and stuff out, it makes you wonder, like, did everybody make it, or did he just see an opportunity to rescue himself and he did, and so the rest of them are still like, you know hold up. If there's a Willow season 2, are we going to see Matt Mortigan again? Because
well, they also mentioned another guy that he hoped died really horribly before. I mean, hope he like got tortured before he died. So there's like a whole little story there. I want the miniseries of Borman's adventures. I just need to know what happens because like if Matt Mardigan got killed and he was having a grand old time afterwards.
right. Like
um,
you were real like, oh, my friend's dead. Oh well, bring on the
but,
dancing girls. Like,
hey, we all cope in different ways. Namaste, namaste. So, um, yeah. So meanwhile, you have uh, Willow and Gaden,
Graydon.
Graydon.
Yes.
Uh, I was so close. Locked away, and they find brownies. I don't know what Jade's tied up somewhere, I think, and Kit and Alora are by themselves too, right?
Yeah, it's Alora and
Kit.
Kit. Jade is off to herself, and Graydon and Willow. And Graydon and Willow, well, before that, they're having this conversation about, hey, do you think me and Alora? And Willow was
Oh,
like, no, forget about Alora. She's
forget
off
about it.
limit.
She ain't got time for no boys.
Like, she is the savior of the world. She cannot be bothered with
And what are
love.
you? She is royalty, and what are you? I'm royalty. You're
I
lesser royalty.
am
She is
royalty.
empress of 9 realms. You're like a prince of one, and like a second prince of one.
And he's like, so it's either saving the world or love. And he's like, I mean, you have to find a work-life balance. Wait, but not Alora.
Not Lord.
She's off
And,
limits.
and, they, and again, we're getting more of this modern dialogue in this setting, and it's weird. But then they find brownies, and one comes out in a onesie and a t-shirt,
With a
like
tail.
with a
Like,
tail,
this was
like
so
with
lazy.
like a rock band t-shirt on. I don't know what but it looked like just like something. It looked modern as hell, people. Like
It looked like something
I was gonna say it. Go ahead.
I'm looking in the corner at my onesie with the tail right now that I was very
Like
tempted to put on, but it's also very hot. So, but
so, uh, so she she comes out, talks to him, to talk about like, hey, you might know some other brownie friends of mine. And she goes, that's offensive. Do all your people know each other? Then Willow comes out, hey, what a baby.
Willow, I know you.
Yeah, and he's also dressed very modernly. And again, last time we saw these people, they were like wearing loincloths and sticks as clothing.
Yeah, I um I was happy to see him because he was from the original movie. Like he's one of the few that made it to this. Um, I also I didn't have time to go back and look to see what happened to the other characters that they mentioned, like the actors that played them in real life. But I love that they didn't kill them off. It was just like he's gone, and we're all.
Oh,
He's like, no, he headed
yeah,
south. He got a
yeah,
divorce. He
that's
headed
so,
south. Um,
you
she
know,
moved up north. Like I thought that
after
was
his said because of the weather, but we know it's because of his wife because she left him for me. so,
like,
so
oh,
what?
where's she? Oh yeah, she left me too.
She also would so so I enjoyed that. I looked it up and I was trying to see whose picture was black and white, whose picture was color. The original other guy, Fernan or whatever, his thing was colored. I don't know if that means he's still alive or how active he is. But
Is that
this
how it
guy,
works?
I
If it's
thought
black
so.
and white, does that mean they're gone?
I thought if there's black and white, they were definitely dead. But that could have, I know that could be my interpretation. I didn't look too closely into it. But he went off and he injected some energy into this. Like it was good to just see him. He was like, and she's up there. Oh, she's still a baby. And then he fucking hangs up on her.
Like no,
And,
she's
and it's like you gotta help us with these guys. Oh, they just built their place on top of us. It was really insulting. And they start coming up with their plans just like old times. That's going on over there. Uh, Alara just stole the wand for some reason. She
because
figured she was.
she kept asking for it, like when they were in the woods before they got captured, and like they were having their conversation. So Laura and Willow were sitting there talking, and she's like, "Just let me, can I, just let me use the wand. Let me see what it's about." And he's like, "No, there's a process to this, and you're not there yet. Like there's rules to pedagogy." And she's like, "Ew," and he's like, "Pedagogy, like it's a student teacher thing." Um,
I bet it is. How dare
yeah.
you? This is Florida.
Um,
um, yeah, so she uses that and blows it up. Just as there's a lot of cock blocking in this episode. There's a lot of blocking in this episode. Borman's about to get some. Boom! Escape happens.
yep.
And they go, Willow and oh no, this happens. So they escape. They're trying to fight their way out, kinda, not really. And a, oh, that's when she threatens Leslie. She threatens Leslie with the wand, and he just kind of snatches from her because again, if you have a long range weapon, why would you come up real close to stick it in someone's face and not,
Yeah. And you don't know what you're doing
yeah.
past that
So
explosion.
but Jade is ready to scrap because she's on her well way to becoming Batman as these people killed her parents. So she fights with her this surprisingly similar looking woman, and who has a really cool like face scar tattoo or whatever. I don't know what you call it,
It's
flesh
like a
tattoos.
tribal thing, or
Yeah.
maybe it's from, their childhood and getting kidnapped.
Oh yeah, it's that. And they fight, and she's about to end her because Jade loses the fight, even though this experienced warrior took a long time with Jade. And you notice, oh, you have a tattoo on your neck. And she says, take her to my tent. It's like, this is gonna get interesting. No, but and they lock him up again, and you find out that the Bone Reavers were started by General Krell. They were all slaves that were fighting for their freedom, and they hide in these woods because they'll be free again. And I started to drown out during this whole backstory. Like it didn't. They were trying to add culture to something that really, I mean, you're trying to thicken up this mythos some, but you really didn't need. You find out that she is not her daughter, but her sister, because General Crow was doing this Genghis Khan thing and like had like 15 children that they know of out there, but they're all hunted down and killed, I guess.
They were all,
So
well, probably in that whole raid thing. So Jade and Scorpia, original name, are the last
Forgot.
two left. Word to
Everything's
Shira.
just so basic, just so basic. And their sister, and no, the queen, from the Romance movie, what's her name?
Sorsha.
Sorsha.
No.
Um,
Beth Morta.
oh, did
Which
Morta
one?
kill? No, Sorsha. No, Sorsha took her and told her that uh, Bone Reavers had killed her parents and everything like
Right.
that. They treated her as a child soldier, and then I was like, yeah, that's kind of. This just went to a whole other turn. Like, all right, but she got her backstory. Willow talks to Rolla and was like, "Hey, jump in my backpack like old times." He's like, "Whoa there, buddy!
Don't do that
I
no more.
saw I saw your stunt double having to run into the woods. I can't be doing. I got I got no stunt doubles. I'm just gonna sit here, chill with my daughter. You're smothering me, and I gave you all these plans. You got this, bro. You don't need me. You got that guy. You know what that was? That was like, oh no, you know what? I can't right now. I would love to, but you know who you really should date? That guy over there.
So better for you.
So much better for
He's
you.
your man
Yes,
now.
man. I'm gonna ruin your life. I'm just gonna ruin your life. Let me tell you now, I'm going to ruin your life. But his name is, I want to say Doug. He's got
Great guy. Great
great,
guy.
great guy. Um, so so they escape and they come up behind a group of them and they get their weapons and they're being ignored and
Like
then
like they haven't even noticed us yet. Like I don't think they care.
I don't think they, but be
I don't think
ready.
they care at
But be
all.
ready. That could have ended really wrong. If Willow was a little bit more bloodthirsty, like, all right, now I want you to shank that one in the back of the neck. I'm gonna beat this
Like
one
we're
of
gonna
it.
kill all of them.
Yeah. And Laura comes up, it's like, hey, like, oh no, it's a party. They're around here in this party somewhere. And we get like a modern dance party with
You know
a
what's
again.
messed up about that is that they just went off and started partying, and Willow and Graydon are still locked away, and nobody was like, "Can you get my man's and him
Yeah.
out of the? Can you help them before like the party jumps off?"
Also, they killed a part of your party members. They killed a party member that apparently Jade knew. Like Jade knew this guy. This guy wasn't a stranger. 2 days ago, they killed a guy you knew.
And I was like, I mean, but blood is thicker than water, and
Kids know too. They all knew.
this is my sister. So yeah, I mean,
Stuff happens. Stuff
folks die
happens.
every day, B.
And
Like,
we was going to get you out. We gonna get you out the first chance, but this party kind of just happened. First time I needed a breakaway, I was gonna come out and lock that door. So I knew you was gonna get more satisfaction escaping than if I let you out. So I just figured I'd give you that confidence boost, and then you know, and so we see what various of them doing. Kids winning a drinking contest with a guy 3 times her size.
been there.
Uh, um, what is that? Oh, Lori is cooking, and is like, "Do you think this is too
It's
human?"
adorable. He's like, does this taste like? Is there too much human
And she's like, "No, you're not crazy. You just have a defined palate.
in this?
Call me Lori."
Or me, Lori. What was his
Yo, Lori is
name?
like one of my. I need a series with Borman, Gaten, and Lori. That's who I want to follow.
So Lori reminds me of, and I don't know if you watch this on Paramount Plus, but the TV show Ghosts. There is one of the ghosts is a Viking that had like made it over to the States, and then I think he got struck by lightning or something like that. Died. But his body, like his spirit never crossed over. So for all of these hundreds of years, thousands of years, he's just been like inhabiting this land. But it's like he's a barbarian, but then he'll also like say something like I would like to watch the Golden Girls because the relationship between Blanche and Dork, like, yeah, that's
There's
what
another show
Lori
you
reminds me of.
There's another show about Vikings. I forget what I just watched it. I watched all of it before, but I was just catching up on the season again. Where they're Vikings, but they kind of speak more modern about their feelings and stuff like that. Like, you know,
Hmm.
I'll have to buy this show. I think you would like it. It's a bunch of them. But yeah, it's Lori.
Oh,
And
Northman.
Northmen, yes.
Love that
I
show.
found that show so entertaining. And then like the whole third season is like a prequel, a prequel season, and they bring up all these characters, set up things. But they talk so openly about their their
Yeah,
feelings as they're doing barbaric things. um, Such a better show than this, people. Northmen.
it is
Um, with very strong female characters. Very, very
extremely.
strong female characters. Um, so Lori also shaves off that hideous prosthetic mustache thing. And again, I love this line. He's like, "Oh yeah,
Graydon.
yeah, like looks great." It's like, "Yeah, yeah, it looks good." It's like, "Yeah, it looks good." He's like, "You think she'll like it?" Who? Oh, never mind. It's like, "Oh, it's about a girl." It's like, "Oh, you know, think she'll like it?" He's like, girls like beards. I wish you had told us that before we shaved it off." He's
that
like,
was
"Wait,
an
what?"
integral piece of information that was needed.
He's like, "I wish you told me before that." He's like, "What about this guy? He don't have a beard. This guy doesn't have a
He
girlfriend."
doesn't have a girlfriend.
that line, that line worked for me. Um, and then we go around this, and they're popping truth. They're doing drugs, but
Truth
they're truth
plums
plums or
is what they're
something.
calling them. Truth
But
plums.
but they're
They were
truth
shrooms.
plums. They were shrooms. And so it comes up. Borman breaking stuff. Borman identifies his love for what's the name in the line of like, "I keep you prisoner here for always." He's like, "You already have. Did you know I'm already your prisoner?" Like, okay, Borman, you know.
I was like,
Uh,
that was so sweet.
it was sweet. It was sweet. You know what? She probably loves Boardman because she's popped a couple of these plums with him a couple of times, so she knows that he has a heart of gold underneath that rogue stuff. Um, so there is that happens, and Gaden and Alora have a heart to heart because she's been avoiding him. Willow told him earlier that like, hey, you know, she's probably avoiding you, tried to kill her, and he's like, "I was possessed," and she would finally have the conversation, and she's like, "I saw you killed your brother,"
Yeah,
and
like
he's
she
like,
wasn't even avoiding him for what happened in that moment. She's like,
"Right,
sir, how many times have you been possessed? Because we have to have a conversation.
right,"
Like,
because you didn't good son your brother, and
right.
and and that did not go well. She's like, "I'm keeping it away from you because clearly you're like one of those kids in school that just let me know when you're not gonna be here." So what did you think about that whole scene?
I thought it was cool. Like I felt like she was looking at him like, you need Jesus. I feel like I just got set up for something.
No, you're not set up. You're not set up. The
I'm
kid
like,
was like, "You ain't gonna get me."
go through my notes here. Actually, I did like they had their moment. He starts telling her about how he's possessed as a kid and all of that stuff. Um, I thought it was cool because like it still seems like she likes him. It still seems like she's willing to like maybe have some moments with him, but also needs to figure out how many more times are you gonna get possessed?
See, this is where the sweet guy has a little bit of a bad streak in him, and they go, "Oh, you're a little bit dangerous. All right."
Never been that girl.
but you know girls who were there like that.
100%. I'm like,
Oh,
girl,
you
you
born.
gonna mess with your credit score.
You got locked up at one point. Oh, your credit score is trash. Oh man, you have a dysfunctional relationship with your mama. Yeah, that's the great building blocks for a relationship.
Come with me. I'll take care of you.
Right. What bills you need? You need to get paid. So we get that little thing, uh, and we get uh, Graydon leaves and goes to drink with Willow, who's telling the end of a joke. kind of the Terry Lannister thing where it's always finishing the joke. Even though, if you're curious, I do know that whole joke. The walking to the brothel with a honeycomb, a donkey. Uh, yes, right. Yeah, you know the end of this joke. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I'm all
So,
ears.
so in Game of Thrones, Tyrion always starts this joke. A dwarf walks into a brothel with a beehive and a donkey, and the joke is always interrupted. But the
Mm-hmm.
whole joke is, my wife found a genie, and he gave her three wishes, and so a dwarf walks into a brothel with a donkey, a beehive, and talks to the brothel owner. The brothel owner's like, "What are you doing? You can't bring those in here. What happened?" He's like, "Oh, my wife, she met a genie and gave her three wishes." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah. So the first wish she asked for was the biggest ass in the world. the second, the second wish she asked for was a house fit for a queen." and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "What was the third wish?" Uh, she wished that I hung down below my knees. And he was like, "That's not a bad wish." Yeah, it is. I used to be 6'2".
Okay.
so, so anyway, that's what Willow does here. He still like little, starts a joke, or we hear the end of a joke or something. They're like,
Yeah, that's the
like,
last time I walked into such and such with the blah blah. Yeah.
yeah. He's like, come over there. And he starts drinking, and we found out that Willow is a fraud. He is a mediocre at best sorcerer. And Gary's like, "No, I've heard your stories. No, trick, a luck and a trick.
Mm-hmm.
My whole career is built on this. My whole fortune is built on this one moment. Da da da. I'm a fraud." So what did you think about that?
I am glad that he finally like admitted, because the whole time we've all been wondering like what's up with you.
Yep.
Um, I think that over the years he probably has become like a more powerful sorcerer, but even 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 though he is what he wanted to be now, like he still has that fear of like that journey leading up to that. Like, what if they find out that Beth Morta just struck herself with lightning by accident? Like, I didn't actually do anything. Like, I didn't actually like defeat her. What if they find out that all of the other stuff that I was doing was just really just like a slide of the hand? Um, and then of course, I think it's tragic that this is the moment where Laura comes up behind them and hears this conversation. And so now she's like, great. Like I'm being taught by a fraud.
Right. It's like, take any skill you want. Like, I'm being taught cooking by the most mediocre chef in all of France. That's
I found out that the chef that's teaching me has a rat on top of his head under his
right.
chef's.
Oh, better reference. Yes. Kind of lose a little bit of confidence. Kind of lose a little bit of confidence.
A lot of con-
Um, a lot of confidence. I don't know how I feel about Willow just being a fraud. Maybe that offsets it with some of his inventions, even though we didn't really get that he was an inventor type of person. But like, it kind of just means he's kind of like the Wizard of Oz almost, right? And
mm-hmm.
so these couple of spells are like knocking him out. So he obviously does know magic, but I guess he just never had the talent. So is everybody just like hyping him up in the movie? I guess, and then maybe it makes Sasha's thing like, hey, you were brave, you were kind, you were all the things, but what you are
Like,
not is a great wizard. My
dude.
mom.
My mom turned your homie into a goat. And then
To
she
a
turned your
goat
whole army into pigs.
on a whim and didn't pass out once.
Still had energy to do cartwheels.
you
Like,
know, so I mean, she was a bee, but she was a great magic user. You, Broham, like you were great at all these other. You were good dad. You were good dad. you go raise them
Willow
children.
Willow is like me. I can go to a dance class. I can take 2 1-hour dance classes back to back and be fine. But as soon as I walk up the steps, I'm done. I'm so winded. That's Willow with these. Like he has been walking for miles and miles, but as soon as he like Wingardium Leviosa's it, he is like, I need to take a nap, guys. I'm out. This is it for me. Willow blew his load, and now
yeah, did y'all get y'all's? Did I do it? All right, y'all give me like 5 good minutes. 5 good minutes. I'll be right back in that fight. So yeah, and then we have the second block of the episode where Jade and Kit are fussing their feelings and going around to try to. Well, first, Lauren and Kit talk about how they're feeling, but I don't really care about that. So they go here and they're about to kiss, the longest anticipation kiss, and a troll comes out of nowhere. It's like that's it.
Snatches Kit about the air. Like
so when they mean troll, they meant internet troll because that guy waited. He waited. He was like, wait, they're gonna kiss. No. Let me still pull it up.
Wait, no, wait, not hold it. I was. Well, the first thing when Kit and Allura had their heart to heart, Allura basically hit Kit with, "Girl, everybody knows. Like, y'all are the worst kept secret.
You're not hiding it.
You're not hiding anything. The biggest thing is we all see how she looks at you, but we all know that you're incapable of human emotion.
We're friends,
girl." Y'all friends like me and Graydon are friends.
Yeah.
Which is also weird because like there's a point where Allura runs up and she's like, "Where's Graydon?" And you know, if you actually cared about your fiance, you'd be like, what? Like, why are you asking about my man? And she's like, over there somewhere.
I like that Willow didn't even bring that up to him. By the way, aren't you supposed to be marrying somebody like tomorrow? like
it's the end of the world. It does not matter. But I was annoyed.
Poly concept into this. There's another show that just have you seen House of Dragons? We don't have TV. Oh, we don't have TV. Anyway.
Sure. With your denim and your stylish leather jacket. Okay.
All right. I gotta go. Peter.
I was annoyed by the final scene with Kit and Jade because Jade was talking so slow. There's no need for there to be that many pauses in between. I love you. Like, and then all of like, I really, truly, deeply, madly, incredibly, shamelessly, hopelessly, like, girl, I love you. And then kiss her. Like, be done with it. But
it's like they didn't have enough film. I don't know use film anymore, but it's like they were trying to. But the troll actor hadn't come down yet, so they're trying to like. There's something wrong with the thing.
Still getting rigged up. Like, yeah. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Like it was a play. Like it was a play, and they're like just like. Like there's a wardrobe thing in the back of it. and that's what it felt like. Or like you're in an uncomfortable situation, but you told your girl to like you're at a dinner at a date. You told you, hey, call me in like 15 minutes and you get out of here. All right, yeah, I think you're incredibly interesting. Like you're such an interesting person. I'm like, you are interesting. You are interesting. You're interesting. Like, why keep on your phone? Nothing. And I would love to get to know more interesting things. Oh, I gotta
call.
Oh, God blocked again. I was gonna kiss you too. Anyway, that's the go. So that was Willow, episode 5. What did you think?
This was the first episode. Oh, wait, I have a note here. I have something that says consent with an exclamation mark. I just thought it was really cool how face Jade and Kit during that whole scene. It's like, don't say that to me because I might kiss you. I would like you to kiss me. Is it okay if I kiss you? Yeah, like I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I think this show is enough for older kids to like watch, and then this is the time when you be like, look at her asking if it's okay to
Yeah.
have this
Ignore the
moment.
man tied up in the tent against his will, though. Ignore that part. Even
Don't
though,
look at that.
even that could be consent, non-consent. That could be consensual non-consent. Maybe,
I mean,
possibly.
that is a much later life conversation about your
Right.
different fetishes. But JVS After Dark.
I'm telling you, 5.99. 5.99 gives you all these great conversations, and we have
12.99.
one. Like that. We have one section just called "Don't Tell Sam."
Never tell Sam.
Never tell
Um,
Sam.
I actually really enjoyed this episode because it was lighter. There was a lot of levity in it from almost every character, and it didn't feel like it dragged on. It didn't feel as long and as ridiculous as it was with the music, like the modern day music popping in different scenes, because there were even parts where they had like just the flute and the drums.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm actually, dare I say, excited to see what happens next week, because they left us in a place of um Kit just got snatched up. Where are they taking her? Uh, what's going to happen with Alora and Graydon? Are the brownies going to come back?
I
Like,
want a brownie army. I want an army of brownies, just like.
will they use the giant owls or the giant crow?
I love that he kept bringing that up. We hit like a mother play. One giant owl, this will all be over.
This could have been done by now, but no.
Which I also think is a Lord of the Rings reference. I here says, why don't you use those eagles for everything? Stop waiting those eagles at the end. Just couple the eagles back, fly to the mountain, drop it in. You don't have to get off the eagle.
You mean to tell me we could have flown here first class and you got me walking through these scary ass woods and like running?
Ain't no street lights. And these aren't Nikes.
Like, sir, I am a hobbit. Look at my legs. I am not set up for cardio.
Stop,
Put me
man.
on the bird.
So yeah, that's pretty much my thought. Is well, except for I'm not excited. So, let me read it. I think that this episode was entertaining for me because they cut out a lot of the characters that I don't care about. Like when it got back to Kit and Jade, I kind of like, you know what I mean? When it got back
Hate
to,
love. Yeah.
I don't hate love. Those characters are boring. What's Jade's personality? What is Jade's personality? Just let me know. What's her personality?
She's fiery and
Is
full of
she?
angst.
Is she angsty though?
She's full of vengeance.
That just happened.
But it's her personality now.
But now it's gone. Now she's a sister. She's vicious against.
She's got hair.
And Kit's annoying to me. I don't care about Kit. I don't.
She's
I
getting
don't.
better, but her redemption isn't as something as it should be.
Apparently, this was supposed to be a start for a pilot of Kit and Jade's adventures. Would you tune into that if Sam didn't force us?
He's holding my parents captive. So yes, I would. Yeah, probably not.
Probably
Well,
not.
I might, but I might with the hopes that we are going to have lots of guest appearances from the characters that I like.
So cameo, if cameos are a solution of your series, that's a problem, right? Like but this episode it was more Borman, Graydon, Laura, who actually who's grown on me. She's actually grown on me as a character. The brownies, Lori. Lori sold a lot of scenes for me that he was in. Like every scene Lori was in worked for me. And the Borman scenes worked for me. So yeah, I think that's because we got more interesting characters got shine than the story they want to tell. And so the only bright side of me looking forward to the next episode is that Kit is gone. Except I'm gonna have to have scenes of Jade longing after Kit, and I don't. like I do not care. I don't care about your backstory, Jade. I don't care that you are. And also, you already got character development. You had to kill your master. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I loved seeing the brownies. So I mean,
Yeah.
but I did enjoy this episode.
I did. Not the only thing that annoyed me about this episode, but my biggest annoyance of this episode, aside from the music, was I am so sick of showing us them, like in the opening, them showing us that book, and there's no like narrator. So I need, if I see a old book, an old journal, and it opens up, I need a wise voice, male or female, doesn't matter, telling me long ago, like something, some kind of opening narrative.
Yeah, and I feel like they started that the first two episodes. I feel like, or first three, they did that twice, where they you opened the book and they told us some backstory.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you're gonna do, then do that. If you have no more backstory to tell us, then don't open the book. Don't start with the book. But I feel like they're like, we already started with the book. We gotta do the book, but I don't have anything to say. Like, now then just stop. Just drop the book until you got something to say, and then open the book up again. You know what? You know what could be happening? We could just be reading the chapters in between opening and closing that book, and then you like, oh, before I go to this section, you should know that blah 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 blah. Willow had always been like, you want to start next episode and show us young Willow struggling to master magic and whatever his thing is, and him going to adventure. That's something you can show you before the opening of the book. But stop with the book. Stop with it if you got nothing to say. Nothing to say.
This is turned into a Seinfeld episode. Stop with the book. Nobody wants the book. Nobody cares about the
books. Nobody cares about. We could go without the book. If you got the book, we could all get over this easier. We could actually get some lunch, some soup, maybe.
At least if you're gonna keep the book, give us the recap from the last episode in the book. Like, open it. Last time on Willow, we saw blah 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 blah. But yeah.
Yeah. So So I'm gonna give this episode. Finally, an episode deserves a B for me. This episode deserves a B.
Yeah.
Maybe a B minus, but a B. This was entertaining.
I was gonna give it a B plus. Maybe because I was eating something really tasty while I was watching it. So I was excited by the end of it. Like, okay, I'm excited about this one. I can't give it an A because it's been a C student. Huh?
But I associate this with this.
I'm associating it with whatever cheese grits and bacon. It was a really sweet maple bacon too. It was like the perfect level of crisp.
Yeah. Anywho. Too.
Huh?
I might enjoy this more too if I was eating So yeah. But no, I'm fine with that. B plus or whatever. Like I said, there was a lot of things. There were more things in this episode that worked with me than any other episode they've had so far. And even with the things that was an issue, if the level of quality was of this episode had been there with the other 4 episodes, I might have a higher opinion of this show. You know what I mean? Just as it stands now. And I think we're halfway through the season at this point. So
we are. I think there's 8 episodes. I don't think it's 10. So it's a shame that we're like, we have 2 episodes left, and this is the moment where we're like, okay, this is all right.
And I feel part of this is that we're streaming now. Like, they're not filming episode like the week like they did, back in the day, and then have this. There's no feedback that we can say about the book, or the character that works is Borman, Gaten. Like, really, Kit and Jade could be cut out this show and the party gets better. Like, the you get more time. And that's, look, take Kit and Jade out.
Aunt?
I'm an incel. I haven't been laid since 1998. And I'm just sitting here with my, with my plushy girlfriend and things like that. But no, take Jade and Kit out, right? Adding Willow's daughter as to help him. Add back Stabby McStab guy, and adding Tony Cox, and we good. We got a show, baby. we are.
That is show.
We all good. I'm here for that. Take Jade and what's the name out and add the cowboy lesbians back. I'm good. Or give me Lori. Give me Lori. See, a note helped me just there because I looked down. I know I got that name wrong.
Notes are important.
Give me Lori. Give me the daughter Brownie and instead of Rolo. I'm all for that. They were all more interesting characters than Jade and Kit.
I love that you've added like 15 different characters instead of just saying make Jade and Kit more interesting.
Because those characters, look, the time it's going to take them to make those characters more interesting.
You could just bring in everybody else. Bring in the horse.
Look at that horse. You know who had a good personality? That cart had a good personality. That wagon had a great personality. And I am here for that wagon. That wagon was a character in itself. But Jade and Kit don't really. I think they drag down the show. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Are you ever like them Jade and Kit scenes?
I mean, I would not watch separately. Like I wouldn't watch a Jade and Kit separate show. But I think, for the sake of representation and for those of us who do care about love, it's unlike Ant, who thinks it's just a chemical response to something.
It is a chemical response to stimuli. Like, look, so all love is all right, but it's also chemistry, right? And Kit and Jade have no chemistry. There's no chemistry there. There's no like. There's more like creepy obsession stalker thing is going on there. Maybe it was. And indifference. Hey, Gade is least. I really don't feel the energy between Gade and Laura, but I feel like there could be chemistry there. Give it a little bit more sparks, little sparks flying. I kind of felt it between Borham and Sista. And
massacred everybody. The only two names you got right are the two that you hate the most.
See the association. They have done to me. Or just make them. You could make them more interesting characters, but I feel like it's too late. There's too late to make them interesting. There's never too late. There's good writing. I say this. Good writing can always fix something, right? But you gotta have good writing. You ain't got that talent, guys. But you did stumble upon some great characters that you could just fold into the group.
This is fact.
Lori could do no wrong with me. Lori is just. I need to be that big Bronx Saxman bear of a guy that just says the most sensitive things at times. And also happy like either way. But anyway, that's my thing. I give it a B. Kim gives it a B plus. Because I love women, I'll just say that her standing makes it trumps mine, and we at JVS give episode 5 a B plus of Willow season 1.
Smart man.
Or because we're just friends and the chemical responses. but that's where we're at. We actually enjoyed an episode. It's a Christmas miracle, people. It's a Festivus miracle.
Festivus for the rest of us.
So this was the gift that Lucasfilm gave us. You wanted a good episode? Merry effing Christmas, people.
You're welcome.
And
we'll be back after Christmas and be back to C status.
It's going to be an all Kit episode next time. Kit solo adventures all next
Merry Kitmas. Yeah.
Merry Kitmas. 24 hours of Kitmas. So, yeah. But we'll see you here. Same Ant time, same Ant channel. Keen, anything to say to the people? You get last word.
Ant time, Keen channel. You're never even. No, you are punctual. I can't say that about you. Keep it as it is. Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Sam Q.
Hit the button, Sam. Hit the button.
Like I'll go north, but north-ish. Like I'll go north-ish.
Sam's back.
I don't know.
Sam.
One person wants to just. All right. So people, join us here at same Ant time, same Keen place for JVS. Willow, Season 1, Episode 6. Play us out, Sam.
Piling out the top of I can see skyline, 50 mile radius. It's on my timeline.